Get ready to dive deep into marketing analytics. Our AI Polly is the first in the world capable of producing statistically valid audiences on social media. And she's opening up the floor with Ask Polly Tuesday. Every week, we're answering marketing problems from branding and PR professionals and how to solve them with data. Welcome to another episode of Ask Polly Tuesday. Today in studio with me, the fabulous Marisol Bedoya, our market researcher extraordinaire, Polly Whisperer. Today, Marisol, we're going to talk about what to do if you're the incumbent product and some new sexy product, some newcomer in the market comes and steals your thunder and your market share. So who is the lucky case study today?
The case study that we looked at was in the tech world. So we took a look at how Google and Apple are competing against each other. And I'm going to start off by showing you what Polly saw in the overall popularity of these brands on social media. So you'll see that the green line here is Apple and the orange one is Google. And you can see here that in the latter half of this year, for the first time, it seems, Google actually surpassed Apple. And, using Polly, we have been able to better understand why this is happening. And using her emotion classifier and emotion detector, we found that there's a lot of negative conversations around the chat of Apple, specifically in the anger group. We saw that there's a lot of frustration when using Apple products, and that's really stemming from the emphasis on a user ID to use any sort of iOS product. And we're also seeing that Apple's stringent security is now becoming a barrier for easy to use products. We also took a look at sadness, and the main conversation that we saw within this emotion was disappointment. And a lot of people are becoming increasingly disappointed with the new products that Apple's putting out. They're seeing that there isn't as many updates as there used to be when they were putting out the iPhone 3, the iPhone 4. Now that we're at the 14, people are like, what's different? What's new? So we found that really, really interesting. However, when it comes to the more positive conversations, we're seeing a lot more Apple favor in this way. And especially around the anticipation and surprise every time they're announcing a new product that's being launched. And it seems these days, every year, there's a new product for Apple. And, tech enthusiasts are always excited to see what's coming next.
So they're overrepresented in the negative emotions, but also in the positive emotions. So it's not all bad.
It's not all bad. It's not all bad. There's light at the end of the tunnel here for Apple. But that being said, when it comes to trust in the brand and trust in these products, especially around security, Google is prevailing. And although Apple is putting in a lot more stringent security on their products, the market is still favoring Google when it comes to trust in their products.
So maybe they have to draw a stronger link between, why all this frustration with the ID, et cetera, and the fact that it is harder to hack into, perhaps. I don't know. That's not a technical opinion. It's just they perhaps need some better messaging on that.
Exactly. So as we go into the different markets, it's interesting to see how these specific emotions are playing into different audiences. So we're looking here at the gamer group. Those who really enjoy gaming are now starting to favor Google products, and that has to do with the customization. Gamers really like being able to maneuver things and make their user interface very customized, which Apple is starting to do, but has been long far behind Google and Android in that arena. Now, tech enthusiasts, because of the constantly updating products that Apple is putting out on a yearly basis, tech enthusiasts are still really excited to see what the differences in these products are. But as you can see, Google's starting to really creep up on Apple in this way. So it'll be interesting to see how the marketing for Google products can really increase the excitement. Now, it's not all bad again. Apple is still seeing a really heavy prevalence in the investor market. And, mostly the people that are investing and those with money are still favoring the Apple products.
And now, so the risk for that, though, is if Apple is hearing a lot of that from the investor community and maybe not from the other audiences like gamers and all those. And so they get a bit of an echo chamber. That's a possibility because a lot of companies listen more to investors than to sometimes customers.
Yes, it's true. It's true. And so that's why it's important to be using samples online that really represent what your customers are looking for, which is what ASI and Polly are able to do for you. And finally, we're going into the gig and freelancers. So because of the customization that's available and the ubiquitousness of the apps that can be used on Google and Android products, the gig and freelancers really need that flexibility in order to cater to all of their customers and all of their clients. So Google is really winning in that market.
And that's a very growing market too.
And finally, when it comes to the income trends within these brands, it was really interesting to see that lower income are still favoring Apple products. However, as early adopters and innovators are seeing what Google's starting to put out, the over 200,000 income level is starting to favor and has been favoring Google for all this time.
Well, that's going to be concerning, I think, to Apple to lose that high income consumer, right? Because they come up with new innovation is expensive, so you need to be able to sell them. Now they're still selling the phones for $1,000, so this becomes like a luxury item, perhaps for even people who are making less than 40,000. This becomes their big purchase, I suppose, and we've seen that before.
Especially if it's a day-to-day use thing, it's used all the time. A lot of people would be more willing to invest in these products.
Well, Marisol, amazing as always. I've really, really enjoyed this. Thank you. If you enjoyed this show, we're on every Tuesday, so please join us next Tuesday where we'll have another case study looking at a different marketing problem. If you have a marketing problem that you'd like to bring to Marisol and Ask Polly, write to us at tuesday@askpolly.ai, and perhaps you will even be on our show and give poor Marisol a break. All right. Thanks, everyone. Thank you for watching. If you like our podcast, please like us here and tell your friends. If you would like to be a guest on our program or bring your own market problems for Polly to solve, please send us an email at tuesday@askpolly.ai. See you next Tuesday.